In a quiet, upscale neighborhood, there lived a man named Adel. Day in and day out, people saw the same thing. The same old shirt, the same worn-out shoes, and a face that never betrayed a single emotion. He was a waiter in a small, unassuming cafe, moving with a silent grace, always alone. The whispers followed him like a shadow. "Look at that guy. Probably lost in life," a customer would sneer. "He doesn't even talk. Maybe he's crazy," another would add. The judgment was constant, a quiet hum in the background of his life. But what they didn't know, what no one could have guessed, was that Adel was so much more than just a waiter. Every single night, after wiping the last table and locking the cafe door, he would slip into a small, hidden back room. It was a dusty, forgotten space with little more than an old desk, a few files, and a laptop connected to a secure private server overseas. This was his real office. This was where the real work began. Years ago, Adel had been a titan of the business world. He was brilliant, successful, and on top of his game. But with great success came great betrayal. His most trusted partners, the people he considered brothers, framed him for fraud. They stole his company, his fortune, his reputation, everything. They left him with nothing and watched as he was sent to prison. When he finally walked out, he was a ghost. He had nothing to his name except two things: his formidable mind and an ocean of patience. So, he chose to vanish. He shed his old identity like a second skin and started again, from the very bottom, piece by painstaking piece. He spent 5 long years in that dusty backroom, meticulously collecting evidence against those who wronged him. Under a web of aliases, he began to buy back shares, investing wisely and silently rebuilding his empire from the deepest shadows. By day, he was invisible, just a humble waiter. But by night, he was a force of nature, quietly becoming unstoppable. One afternoon, a young, arrogant man swaggered into the cafe. He was dressed in a designer suit, dripping with contempt. He tossed a wad of cash onto the table, making sure everyone could see. "Clean this up, waiter," he sneered, looking Adele up and down. "And don't touch me with your dirty hands." A smile flickered across Adele's face. A quiet, knowing smile that held years of pain and patience. He simply nodded and said, "Of course, sir." He cleaned the table without another word. The very next morning, that same arrogant young man walked into the boardroom of a major corporation, ready for a high-stakes meeting. He stopped dead in his tracks. His jaw went slack. There, sitting at the head of the massive mahogany table, was the waiter from the cafe. As the employees stood in unison, a chorus of respect filled the room. "Good morning, Mr. Adel. The presentation is ready, sir." A deafening silence fell. The young man couldn't breathe. Adele's gaze locked onto him, calm yet powerful. He spoke softly, but his words echoed like thunder in the silent room. "Never judge a person by what you see," he began, his voice steady. "Because sometimes the one you look down on is already standing far above you." He then turned his attention to the large screen behind him, his expression shifting from steel to serenity. "I learned one thing in life," he said to the entire room. "God never forgets, and patience always pays off." As the room erupted in applause, the screen lit up, not with corporate logos, but with the emblem of his new foundation, a charity dedicated to supporting young, underprivileged entrepreneurs who had nothing but a dream. Adel wasn't just rebuilding his empire, he was building a legacy of hope. Not every silence is a sign of weakness. Some silences are the sound of greatness being built. If you believe in the power of patience and second chances, you'll feel right at home here. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because we have so many more stories like this to share with you.